Artemis II is capturing worldwide attention, and for good reason. This historic mission marks NASA's return to crewed lunar flight for the first time in more than 50 years.
It's truly the next giant leap in human space exploration. So joining us with all the details, we are so excited to catch up with our buddy, astronaut Winston Scott. So good to see you. Wish you were in studio, but great to see you.
Well, good morning, ladies. I'm happy to be with you. I, too, wish I was in the studio. I remember visiting with you in person a while back, and it was so much fun. It's good to see you this morning, and thanks for having me on.
Thank you. We love that. Well, as Natalie just said, of course, we've got something big to talk about here. Artemis II is getting a lot of attention. Of course, the first time we'll have lunar flight in more than 50 years. Can you elaborate even beyond that, why this is such a big mission, a big milestone?
Absolutely. As you just said, the first time we've sent people to the moon in over 50 years, what people may not realize is that Artemis will put the first woman on the moon. Apollo put men on the moon. If they think back to their Greek mythology in high school, Artemis was the twin sister of Apollo, and Artemis was the goddess of the moon. Therefore, the Artemis program will put the first woman on the surface of the moon. Now, the Artemis II flight is an end-to-end test around the moon. Astronauts will not go to the surface, but they will circle the moon and then return to Earth in a complete end-to-end test. So this flight is historic and significant and on quite a number of fronts.
Wow.
So I have a genuine follow-up question here. By the way, my daughter was Artemis in a Greek play a few weeks back, so I was aware, but love that we're getting it up there. People may sit and say, okay, wait a second, and myself, I'm curious. We've done this. We've flown around the moon before. We've landed on the moon before. Why is it a big deal to now do this again, that we're just doing that first mission, being able to go around? Why is that historic when kind of we've been there, done that sort of thing?
Well, it's a big deal in a number of ways that we redo this, so to speak. The first time we went to the moon in the 60s was for political reasons. We were in the Cold War against the Soviet Union. And we sort of won the Cold War by demonstrating our superior technology, landing astronauts on the moon. So we went to the moon for political reasons. This time, we're going to the moon for scientific reasons, for discovery reasons. We'll put people on the moon. We'll have a permanent human presence. We will research. We will learn. We will learn how to live and work on the moon, and therefore, by extension, how to live and work on other planets. So the moon will be a stepping stone for flight off to Mars and other places out in the solar system and out in the universe. So again, for those reasons and many, many more that I can elaborate on, that's why it's important that we get back to the moon.
That's
okay, thank you.
Yes, yes. So what's it like to watch a launch from Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex? For those who haven't been, for those who haven't done it now, I'm a Florida girl. I've been to Kennedy Space Center. My kids are at that age where they're like, they want to take a trip there.
Mine too.
What can guests expect?
The guests can expect an incredibly exciting experience. In fact, there's several things I believe everybody in the world ought to see at least once. Perhaps you ought to see the Eiffel Tower, maybe the Grand Canyon, Niagara Falls, or whatever. A space launch, particularly a space launch with people, is something everybody in the world ought to experience one time because it is so awesome. It is so dynamic. The words don't adequately describe it. But when you talk about 8.8 million pounds of thrust launching people into orbit, it's just an incredible experience. And it also touches you in sort of an inspirational way to understand that your country is capable of doing something of such magnitude. So again, I encourage everyone to check it out in person if possible. So we'd love to have them come visit us here at the visitor complex.
Oh, we have got to do this. Hey, really, really quick, before we run out of time, launch week. I know it is a really special time to visit. Talk about some of the special presentations, even inside the journey to Mars, what you can learn from going launch week versus any other time of year.
Absolutely. And talking about launch week, because we're coming close to launching Artemis, there is a special Artemis display being set up in the building with the Atlantis exhibit. So when people go into that display, they'll be able to see the capsule. They'll be able to sort of look inside of a replica of the capsule that the astronauts will actually occupy while they're flying to the moon. So that's one of the items that are specifically oriented towards launch week. Also, the astronauts on site during that time will not only talk about their individual experiences in space, but they'll be able to answer questions about the Artemis flight itself. So there's always 1,000 things to do at the visitor complex, and these will be oriented toward the Artemis launch.
Let's do it, Roxanne.
Yes,
Let's go.
Let's go. We always learn so much talking with you, Winston, and just get excited about our space program. It's wonderful. And of course, folks can visit Kennedy Space Center for more information.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Oh, great to
Take
see
care.
you. Thank you.
Good to see you. Bye-bye now. Thank you.
Bye.